Welcome everybody. Again, thank you for letting my advertisements roll that extra money. Got a new Gretsch. It's an electromatic, wonderful guitar. I had a 6120 many years ago, and I decided to get back into it, and I really like the newer C profile neck. It's not real thick. I like a thicker neck, but it's comfortable. And this plays really well. Everything, I love the sapphire blue color. This was actually used. Bought it at Guitar Center of all online, but it came, and other than adjusting the bridge slightly for setup, it was fine. And it's been playing fine. So, okay. You know, my channel's not about what's popular or what, it's good music. We've done, you know, everything from whiskey for my horses, beer for my men, or vice versa, I forget the name. Anyhow, we've done that. We've done Axe, Rock and Roll Party of the Street. I've done a few songs from Angel. So it's never been about popularity, it's really about good songs. And there's a channel on YouTube called Grim Life Collectives. And it goes through, obviously, some grim things. But what I like about the channel is they don't go into gore for shock's sake or anything. It's more of a factual telling and experiencing certain places, museums, and things that you wouldn't normally see. So I always like the paranormal and that kind of stuff. So anyhow, I watch this channel once in a while, and it starts out with this song. All right, found out, and they have it listed. It's by a song called Batmobile, and they're a Dutch band from Rotterdam. And I just really like this song. Jeroen Hammers is the main guitarist, and I was surprised once I looked him up on Wikipedia. They have 25 plus albums. So you know, obviously they're more popular in Europe than America, but great song is a great song. So I've written this out, so my notes, as always, will be available right below the video. The intro to this song starts out with a nice little lick here in the open E position. We're going to hit the 5th string open, then we'll hit it again, hammering into the 2nd fret and pulling back open, and then we'll hit the open 6th string. And then quickly we go to 2 on the 4th string to open. And then we'll do that very first lick over again on the 5th string. But then we're going to come to the 6th string at the 3rd fret with a bend, slight bend, release, and pull off to open. Alright, so that's it for the lick. So together, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you just put your finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string and upstrum with an E7. If you got a Bigsby or a vibrato, you can give it about 4 shakes. If you don't, you can just go right into the rhythm. I noticed where he does 4 vibratos pretty quick and then comes in. I noted that on the tab, just in case you're playing along. Also, my tab, I've got 2 times through this rhythm, and then the next 2 bolded, 2 unbolded, 2 bolded. It's just to help you see how this breaks up, okay? Because we're going to do 8 of these licks. Now, not licks, but, well, rhythm licks, all right? This rockabilly rhythm. So what we're going to do, and what I suggest you do, is start with an upstrum, and we're just going to be using the 5th and 4th, I'm sorry, 6th string. 6th string open, 5th string, 2nd fret. And then down, and then up. Because then you're going to come down with a pull out on the 3rd fret and a slight bend on that 6th string. It's hard to show slow. got some echo going and a slap back delay. Your delay, I turned the effects off to show you this, but the delay should be very quick for a comeback. And I'm stopping the string so you hear that. Because if I don't, it's not so noticeable. But once you're doing something like this where you're playing up and down and that third string bend, it's a little more prominent. Especially palm muted. Now, if you want, you can also include the second fret of the fourth string. It just adds a little flavor. It's not really always in this rhythm, but it adds to a nice rockabilly feel. And live, these guys, I've watched, I don't know, I actually got 6 or 7 of these videos I downloaded to watch and slow down. He does something different every time, really, but the genesis of the song is what we're learning here from the recording. Okay, so if we add that fourth string, we have more of a... Okay, pretty cool sound. All right, if you add some reverb to that, the reverb, let me turn off the delay. It's got a short tail, so there isn't a lot to it springing, but it's just there. All right, so you add that. Okay, so there's the rhythm. That E with that lick, we will do 8 times for a measure as part of the intro. All right, then he starts singing in verse 1. So this is one of those songs where there's not a clear chorus because he sings about the Calamity Man in like the first section of each verse, but it's not presented as a chorus per se. So it's more of a verse and structure. And there's 2 separate verses. The E's and the A's are the same, but the little chords that turn it around are different. Okay? So we've got our intro. Now we're going to go through another measure, or 8 times of the E lick. All right? After 8, we're going to come down to our A and do that 4 times. The same type of lick. All right, then back to E for 4 times. So we've split this second measure of the verse. All right, then what he does is go to a G major chord, to G flat, to E. And the E is really more of a power chord because he comes quickly back in to the lick, all right, the chording lick. So we have this. It's a down, down, up on the G, and then a down, up on the G flat, and then a down, up on the E before he starts the lick again. So it'll sound like this. So let's take it from the A, the second measure, into this third measure where we go from the G to G flat to E. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so the G chording lick will go 4 more times, and that is the end of verse 1. All right, verse 1, every odd verse is the same, okay? In my notes, I included an every other, so we did this first verse. On the third verse, you can do this. It's not really in the recording, but I noticed him doing this a lot live. So we'll go through our change here. Okay, what he does different, instead of moving from this G flat to E, he's going to go back to G flat. All right, and then start the E lick. So it'll sound like this. That takes us to verse 2, okay? So now we're to the even verses. So 2, 4, 6, and 8 are the same. In all the even verses, we're going to do a full measure of the E 8 times through. Then we move to our A for our normal 4 times. All right. Then we're going to go to a turnaround quickly before we come back to E. When we do finish this turnaround, we come back to E for another 8 times or a measure before he starts verse 3. Okay, so that's the big difference. After the A, we go into the turnaround. The turnaround is B to A to G and then G to A. All right, so we have this. Let me take it from the A, and then you'll see how the chords are played. All right, so that would be the second measure of a full E. So after our A, we go into 2 Bs. It almost feels like Stray Cat, but this, I hate to say that because this is just a typical nice little turnaround in rockabilly. B to A twice, then we go to G twice, and then when we go to G flat, we're going to hit down and then a up down. All right, so it'll sound like this. And then you're back into a full measure of the E. It's really fun to play. So those are the even verses. Now we'll talk about, there is a bridge in this song, and he does some nice little chording. He does have a solo in this, which again are some nice little licks to put in your rockabilly pocket. So we'll go over that next. Okay, turn on the effects again, and I'll show you about half the bridge. I'm just going to stop there. There's one more measure of the E, but you get the idea with this. What we're doing is a chromatic lick, and we're going to do, for the bridge to start, 4 sets of the E chord lick. Then we start with an open 6th string, and then count down from the 6th string, 2 hits on 3, 2 hits on 2, 2 hits on 1, and 2 hits on open. That first open E string is only done in the beginning, but it gets you into the rhythm because we're coming out of it. Okay, so it keeps the rhythm going. All right, so we've got that. We'll do that twice. 3, 2, 1 open, that will go twice. Then we move it to A, or the A string. We'll do that twice. We come up to E string again, 1 time. And then you'll hear him hit that first fret, slide up to 12, and give it some Bigsby vibrato. Okay, and then he comes back in with another, I'm just going to call this a measure. It's 4 times through on the E string. All right, that will go 2 more sets, or 2 more times, and then we're back into verse 5. Alright, so 5 being the odd one. Okay, for the solo, it takes a little reference from the bridge, alright? We're just going to be doing double stops, referencing the G to G flat to the F and then the E, alright? So we'll be playing on the first and second string, and we slide in to 15, and then we'll hit 15 twice, 14 twice, 13 twice, 12 twice. We will do that 4 times. Again, 2 more times. Then we move it to A, just like we did earlier, but we're going to move to this 5th position. So this will be 8, 7, 6, 5. Alright, and then he comes, at this point, rather than come back to an E or the E lick up here, he comes to the 1st position and starts doing some actual single notes, soloing. We hit the open 1st and 2nd string, and then we're going to hit the 2nd fret of the 3rd string bent. And then he's going to go open 1st string, 3rd fret, and then open again, just hitting each note. And then to the 2nd string, 3 to open. Let's say it ring just a minute or a second. So we have this. Then you'll hear 2 on the 3rd string slid up to 4th fret, hitting 3 on the 2nd string and open. Okay, after the 4th time when we've slid up and hit 3 and open on the 2nd string and 1st string respectively, we take the 2nd string at 5 with a bend. So we're taking an E, basically a slight bend, and then, so rather than, we're doing this. Alright, so slight bend on 5, and then we go 3 to open on the 1st string. Alright, so that little ending part there, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll go to the 2nd string, 3 to open. Then we go to the 2nd fret of the 3rd string with a bend and release and pull off to open. 1st string open, 2nd string, 3 to open. 3rd string, 2nd fret, again with a bend, release, and pull off to open. Alright, so we have this. Then he goes to the 4th string, 2 to open, 5th string, 2 to open, and then the 6th string, 3 bent to open. Alright. Really nice little licks in this, you know, E minor pentatonic. It's just real fun to play, and it was really fun to work out. So that is the solo, all right? Now we have verse 7, and then we go into verse 8, which takes us out. So like I mentioned, verse 8, which again is an even verse, so we have our, to take us out, all right? But they change it up because it's the outro, so they're thrown in the kitchen sink here. We've got that even part to that. We start back with our E lick. Then we're going to go back to that chording. Alright, so it will sound like this. I'm going to take it from the A, because again, we've gone through a whole measure of the E for the beginning of the verse, 8 times of that. Then we go to the A and we do this. Alright, so that bridge lick fades the song out. So after our A, our normal verse would take us B, A to G and G flat. Then we go to E, we'll do that 4 times. Again, the B, A, G, G flat. Now we'll do E 4 more times. Then we do. All right, that will go on for a total of, let's see, that's 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm sorry, 5, 6 times, and it's fading out. So that is the whole song. I know it's not maybe real popular in the States, but it's really a cool introduction to rockabilly. It's a great way, and you don't need a Gretsch to play rockabilly. You can do it on a Telly, you can do it on a 335, P90s, it doesn't matter. It'd be nice if you had a whammy bar, hell, a straddle one. But I really hope this helps everybody. It's been fun. I've been relearning Stray Cat Strut. I haven't played that for years, you know. Anyhow, so it's been fun having the Gretsch, and God bless you all for letting the advertisements run and buying me a beer. I appreciate everything and hope you guys enjoy.